Good? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, we are back. So sorry if you didn't get to hear us. We're getting into the draft. Soon. We're getting into the draft soon. It hasn't started just yet.
Apologies for the audio issues,
Yes.
We always set everything up so well, and then it doesn't.
It's like one small error, and that it's very noticeable, and that it does get picked out.
And unfortunately, I can't say it will ever be a giant leap for mankind, so we will have to move away from that. Again, apologies for the audio issues, but you didn't really miss anything. I made a reference to a TV show that no one would know about. I'll mention it again because we're still waiting for the bands to officially start. Players on Paramount Plus. I can't even guarantee that it's even showing up on that platform anymore because I literally have not looked for it in years. Had one season, like 10 episodes. So if you know about it, I am very impressed because I almost guarantee no one knows about it.
Yeah.
But we are now into the bands, I believe, as I can see the timer now going down. So we can hop on over and take a look at what we got going on here.
So we're starting off with the bands from Southern Miss. Not University. It should be University of Southern Miss. A small little error. They're picking. There's someone that got picked, or like they ran out of time because there's. I don't know what's happening on that end, but on the side of corridors, we got a Seraphine ban. Common. See that every time we get a ban out of the opposite team, just going straight for our support. Oh, Camille on the side of Southern Miss. Seems like some pretty good bands out of here going for who these people the other team is playing against. Waiting for that one to load in. I love it too.
It's the loading game.
It's the loading game. It's anticipation. What do you think they banned? I'm pretty sure it's another support character if I had to guess.
I have a guess, but it's probably almost guaranteed wrong. I'm gonna say Quinn. But that's my guess.
That would be for Southern Miss. I feel like Southern Miss would ban that one.
Oh, yeah. That's a Condors ban.
Yes, Condors.
Yeah, looking at the wrong side. And now two of them are not loading.
So two of them are not loading. It is a guessing game of what is going to pop up there. Hey, Camille popped up at one point, so these other ones got to pop up.
I would imagine. It might just take a little bit of time. But while we wait for everything to show on up, we can... Oh, there they are. So...
There's one, Ziggs. Pretty good band. Wow.
And two bands still not showing up for Condors. Apologies. It's not even our for once. It's not our fault.
It's definitely the draft pick band thing here,
but,
or the PC. Who knows?
We've had a lot of issues already, so I'm expecting more.
We'll see it more when we like get into yeah, they'll ban the exact same characters.
Yeah. So there's at least the failsafe, but
Yes.
It is what it is. We'll at least hopefully get to see the picks, that which is a little bit more.
We get the names. It's way.
That's good enough. And I do see another Southern Miss band.
That is Rel. Is it with you guys too?
So what do you expect the strategy for Southern Miss to be here? Because we had a little bit of a conversation about what we know from the opposing team from Condors, but what is your thought on how Southern Miss can kind of take this team, especially seeing that they're currently 0-3 in the standings?
Like how they usually play, they play with Engage. I don't know. It's hard to tell what they're going to do against the Condors because I myself don't know how the Condors play. So I'm expecting the Southern Miss to play how they usually play, and that is just very aggressive all the time. But we'll have to see depending on the picks here. I wonder if we can ask them what these other two are. Because on the side of Southern Miss, we got Lux and Jinx, and a pick of Vi from the Condors, which is pretty good. Good jungler. Kaisa, okay. Interesting. Is Hui going to be mid? Kaisa. Hui mid, maybe. I'm thinking Hui mid, Vi jungle, Kaisa bot lane so far. And then we have Lux Jinx. Lux, depending on this next pick. I love how slow all of this stuff is loading in. It's actually so nice.
So I am trying to look through my notes on the previous matches for Southern Miss to see what else they have picked.
Lulu mid. No, Lulu support, Lux mid. That's what I meant to say there. This seems very difficult for Southern Miss. This Kaisa and Vi might be really hard for the bot lane to counter. So Lulu counter might be needed. That Lulu ult is really, it prevents a jungle engage.
Okay.
Lulu ults somebody and anybody in that vicinity of that ult, they get knocked up.
Okay.
So Vi has a really good engage when ganking.
Yeah.
So that is a really good way to counter that Vi. I really wish we could see the... Okay, we got a Nautilus on for Southern Miss, a Nautilus ban. Come on, load. We can't see any of these people. We can't see anybody from the Condors.
Of our commentary here, and we just
We can't see them.
We can see the first band. The rest of it is just not ideal, not quite there.
I wonder... Okay, Jarvan. Jarvan. We see Jarvan now. So, based on what I'm seeing here, the Condors have a tank compared to Southern Miss with no tank. They actually have 3 squishy people. Who are these 3 people that...
And Seraphine, Zaya.
Zaya Rel.
Yeah.
I thought we banned Rel.
You can't pick Lily into types of ways. It's not going to work. You have to have a hard front line.
Southern Miss does have their coach in today.
They do, which is, I think, it is the first time this season that he's
Yes.
been able to make his way in. I appreciate that.
Seraphine, Zaya, Mumu. My bad.
Seraphine, Zaya, Mumu.
And then J4 was their 4th band, and then their 5th band's Malphite.
Malphite. Gotcha. Thank you. We can't see like 2 of them, which is really crazy. What did you guys just ban? Blitzcrank. Okay. Okay. So they're getting a Jin Zhao. Good jungler in here. Good engage. Okay. Quinn. There's the Quinn coming out.
Mention that's a ban I was kind of surprised not to see, but at the same time, I it's a completely different strategy that is miles above my own.
Yes. Usually whenever a team is trying to pick something and they know that a player on the other team sees that this person has played this character too many times, it's better to just let them play that character and ban more important characters and then counter that character. So Quinn can be easily
Basically
countered.
Play the bans around the rest of the team and focus on countering the one person who is, I don't want to say one trick, but 62 games compared to 7.
I'm very
total other
confused
games
on what where their roles are.
Yeah, also, yeah.
We have a Cassante, that's top. Our team is very set in stone about who's playing where. The other team is very confusing because Kaisa and Quinn, they're both kind of bot laners. I want to assume that Quinn is going to go top lane, Leona support, Hui mid, Vi jungle, Kaisa bot. That's what I'm thinking. I hope that's correct. I apologize if it's not.
And there you can kind of see the bands.
You can kind of see the people.
You can see the names at least in the picks, which is
Yeah, that's very helpful. Down here is not that helpful. But hopefully when we load into the game and we can see the bands pop off, you guys can get a better picture of who people are playing. But this is a very interesting. But yeah, the draft pick is over. We can go into...
Now just have to wait for the game to load. Of course, there is the standard 3-minute delay on the game itself. So we'll have a little bit of time to talk about the team so far this season, what they've done, that sort of thing. And also kind of talk a little bit about Conestoga as well.
Okay,
so
there it is. We didn't get to see any of the bands. It just went straight into... Oh, it's blind pick. That's how they did that. Okay. Gotcha.
So I want to talk a little bit about these teams in terms of their records. Not that it's anything super important, but since we have a little bit of time, we can just kind of discuss what's been going around. So this Southern Miss team currently sitting in the, I think it's East 1 or East 2 of NACE Varsity Premier. They are currently sitting at 0-3. This has been a pretty tough season for them so far. They have losses to Oakland, Kansas, and Butler, I believe. I could be wrong. Or no, Butler they play later. Butler was a team that Conestoga played.
Yeah.
I don't remember the full set there, but they are currently sitting at 0-3. It's been a bit of a tough year in NACE, but if you look over at the other league that they play in, ECAC, they are currently 2-0, so they're undefeated in ECAC, which of course playing a lot different teams. They're not playing anywhere of the same or any of the same teams between the two.
Yes.
So that's also worth mentioning. Conestoga is also coming off of a bye last week. They ended up playing Oakland the week before that, and they lost. So they're technically coming off a loss, but really just coming off of a bye. I also couldn't find that they were playing in ECAC whatsoever. So
Gotcha.
or they were, but there's only like a couple players
Yes.
in the main roster that you're seeing here that are playing also in ECAC. I don't know. It's a really weird situation they got going on over there. But in terms of this division, which is obviously the one that matters a little bit more for tonight, they are currently sitting at 2-1. They're a game behind Northeastern, who is 3-0. There's also a couple other teams that are 3-1. Since they had the bye early, they of course don't have the same record, the same amount of games played. But of course, two very different stories here. Southern Miss looking to keep themselves in the possibility of a playoff run because it's getting to the point where they really need to hunker down and start finding wins somewhere, because then it's going to really be a bit of a struggle for Southern Miss, especially if they lose tonight. Drop them
Yes.
to 4. I think it's top 4 or top 6 out of the 8 make it
Yeah.
playoffs. So that's definitely worth mentioning as well.
Yeah. And so, we still have 2 minutes to discuss.
I feel like I talked for so long.
That was 1 minute.
It was a single minute.
That was a single minute.
So I'm looking over some of the other champions that were played by Southern Miss. Of course, they're obviously going to be different. They're playing different teams.
Yeah.
I pulled this from when they played against Butler. Just looking at their map 1, it's a good bit different. And again, it's really hard to just directly compare the two because you're playing two completely different teams and you obviously have different information based on them. But I am seeing a similarity here. I believe it was oh, those are bands. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong section. So yeah, fully new comp for Southern Miss. Heard a ratchety noise over.
That was something.
Outdoors or somewhere, but
Caused the room to go silent.
But as far as I can tell, this is a lineup that they haven't quite gone with just yet, at least based on their previous matches. So I'm curious to see what their strategy is coming into this one.
I feel as though, as we see with the exact same players and where they position as for every week, this is going to be interesting as Haddle, if you don't know who Haddle is, that is their coach. He is, I guess, the unofficial coach for right now, but he did get approval. So he's just telling them basically, like, while the draft pick was happening, like, this is, you guys are kind of like at a down, and what's it called? Disadvantage. You guys are at a disadvantage right now. You need these picks. That Lulu pick that we saw, that was Haddle's choice. Said you need this Lulu. That Vi is going to mess things up in that lane. I'm hoping things load.
If you remember our last stream,
yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
multiple times, and now we're actually in. So that's very, very.
It's
helpful.
very good, very helpful.
We can actually see the game this time instead of having to attempt to commentate what we can't see.
Oh.
If
So it looks.
Our names are flipped. We can flip that in a second. Just to keep you guys aware, the names at the top are flipped. Southern Miss is red, and Conestoga is blue.
Yes. Interesting to point out, our top and our jungle switched, and our mid and our support switched. So this is a surprise for all of us. Excited to see how this goes because I think I've seen Ivy play support before in a different game. Ivy played really well. I've never seen Goth play the top lane. So this is going to be an interesting role Goth is in jungle. I'm so sorry. Goth has always been in the top lane. But here we go. We're going in for a little bit of an engage. Lux running away after hitting a Q onto, who was that? I think it was our Hui. So Hui is just going to stay in the jungle for a second. Hopefully Lux backs off. Seems like we're going to have a little engage onto this Leona here. What's going to happen? Nothing? Just a little poking action. Way coming in for the hit onto Young Talent. They're just going to back off and go down to the bot lane, but they're going to get cut off by this Kai'Sa here hiding in a little bush. I think is the Kai'Sa. No, it doesn't seem like the Kai'Sa's going to do anything. They're just going to go down the lane and get their minions. Oh, no, here's a little bit of a fight. Young Talent taking some damage and then hitting the Leona in return. Young Talent kind of at a bit of a disadvantage, our Jinx with the low health, but hopefully they can keep this pace going down here in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Top's the same as it is. Quinn getting some engage off of Euphrates, having to back off and go under tower to prevent any more damage being taken. And back in the bot lane. Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
Oh, engage off of Leona. Young Talent taking a lot of damage, getting ignited. There's a chance he does die. Kai'Sa getting the first blood. Ivy going to probably be taken down too. Yes, she gets under tower. She is fine.
And I was literally just about to say it does usually takes a little bit of time
Yeah.
for anything like super meaningful to happen. And literally the second I start that sentence, dead. It didn't even give me a chance to speak. And
It can happen at any moment. And since Leona is such an engaged support, it's going to be like at any point Leona can grab you and pull. Here we have Hwei, Lux fighting in the mid lane.
small early advantage there for Conestoga, of course, picking up the first blood. You can see in the gold, it's nothing too crazy. It's just going to be about a 1K difference, more like 900 difference, but not going to be too out of hand, of course, just yet.
Yes.
There's a significant amount of game to go. We'll see here.
There is, and some of these characters that we see are going to be super good late game. I think Jinx is probably one of the best late game champs that I see on this team. For Southern Miss, Euphrates playing that Cassante is really good, as it is a really good tank player, but Quinn is going to build anti-tank, so it might be kind of an even fight up there. But Cassante is a really good meta champ for the top lane, so we'll see how this plays. But it seems like Jin Zhao sees the Vi going up to the mid. Can't really see that on our screen just yet. Oh, here we go with the fight with the junglers, causing Goth to back off. Probably needed. Someone needs to grab that scuttle down by Drag, as Dragon is going to come up in a minute 13, and that's the first drag of the game. You have any questions? It's a slow pace for the first part of the game.
Yeah, the start of the game, it's very hard to like say a whole lot, at least for me, with the league knowledge I don't have. So like, I'm just kind of sitting here right now, just waiting for something to happen. I'm also, come from the Call of Duty scene primarily, so like, you're getting like the exact opposite pace. You have to like actually wait for things. Like Call of Duty, you are in there and then out of there in about 25 seconds.
So let me talk about the difference between the two bot lanes that we see. Jinx is very heavy because her cube ability is either a, like that you see here, it's like a little grenade, or it can be like a little machine gun. We have an engage here from the Leona. It is getting a W from the Lulu, calling a polymorph. And we're back up in the top lane with 2 engages. Goth is very low, getting hit, killing the Quinn, and now we're back down. There's 2 fights happening here. Can Euphrates kill this Vi? Can they do something to prevent this Vi from engaging again? Euphrates flashing to get away from the Vi, and under tower, safe and secure. He's going to back off. Ivy and Young Talent in the bot lane, perfectly fine.
And you mentioned...
Oh, never mind. There it is. The Hwei came up from mid lane and killed Euphrates.
You thought he was getting away, and then all of a sudden, no.
I didn't see the Hwei go up, so that is definitely on my end a mistake.
Something you mentioned earlier was that USM tends to play a very heavily engaged style in terms of their gameplay.
Yes.
And honestly, it kind of feels like we're seeing the exact same thing from Conestoga. They're countering it, but like countering it with essentially what is the exact same thing.
Yes. It seems like we got a mid top switch here. As you can see, Hwei went to the top lane, Quinn went to the bot lane. That's kind of a meta move now that you see in League of Legends, where you pick characters that can swap between mid and top. I personally don't like that type of meta, and I know that some pro players like T1, they don't play that meta, even though they are like champion winners. T1 recently played someone that does play that meta, and they lost I think one game. I'm not sure. I haven't watched the whole thing. We're getting an engage here from Leona. Vincent having to pull out his W, preventing a further engage. Xin Zhao coming in to protect them. Vincent is going to back off here with very low HP and no mana. But like I was saying, that meta is... I don't know where that meta came from.
It just kind of
happened. So now you can see the Quinn is back up in the top lane. They just switch. It just causes the mid and the top lane some like hassle with each other. If you see two lanes or like two teams having that meta, then they just switch with the other lanes. If they see that their person is in the mid lane, they go to the mid lane.
So
here we go with the Xin Zhao engage going into the Kaisa, getting a polymorphed and getting shielded by
to finish the kill, and now you're gonna see a double come in from Conestoga, maybe even a triple if they can pull this one off. It's getting close.
Looking like it.
Ivy cannot escape, so it will be 5 kills now for Conestoga. They're starting to slowly but surely build themselves a bit of a lead. But if you look at that gold at the top of your screen, it's still only 3K, which is obviously not great, but it can be made back up.
But that was a perfect engage for Conestoga, as it does give them drag here because both of the bot laners are gone. The jungler had to go back into the jungle, and it's giving them a free drag. That was the whole purpose of that engage, a free dragon, and it just didn't go Southern Miss's way.
And eventually you will see the drag.
It's gonna die.
It takes a little bit, but
it's gonna take if you're soloing dragon.
Especially, yes, if you're soloing.
Oh, the Vi getting pushed on with a polymorph, and Young Talent taking a lot of damage off of that Vi, killing her. Well, that was like
quick response too. They had like almost just spawned in, and that was like the first thing that they did.
That was like, you killed me, bro. Like, I wanted that dragon. I want it back.
Please, is at least Southern Miss getting one back on the board. Euphrates just trying to get some damage down, but Twinley won't really get much there. Young Talent just trying to push these players of Conestoga off of the tower, and will do just that. Ivy also joining in there.
You can see, based on the items, that currently Jinx is at a little bit of a disadvantage against the Kaisa, as Jinx has less items. You can also see gold disadvantage, the CS. Kaisa has 65, while our Jinx has 45. That can be a bit of a problem right now for them. So Jinx needs to sit on these minions and get as much gold, because if not, Jinx will be at a very, very high disadvantage. But it seems like Conestoga, there's like 3 people down in the bot lane. Conestoga stealing Southern Miss's. I think that's the blue buff. Yes, that's the blue buff of. So that's interesting. Good stealing. Hwei coming in. I don't know why Huei's coming down. Luck's always coming down too. I think they're trying to backdoor Southern Miss right here.
I was noticing the same thing at the mini map. It looks like there's 2 players trying to pinch here onto Young Talent, and
but they see it. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh.
And
there's the Vi ult, Lulu ult coming out soon with it. There's 3 people from Conestoga alive. Wow. Did something there.
There was certainly now it's just a full dive from Conestoga, and you're gonna see them
go down.
The benefits of it, and the tower might even.
It's not, no. Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't have the minions for that just yet.
Yeah, all the minions except for I think 1 were dead there.
Yes.
So not much they can really do.
But hey, Jinx got another kill off of that, I think. You saw that shutdown coming from the Hwei. So that was a good bit of gold. Hwei didn't have a bounty, so Jinx did just get some good amount of gold out of that. So that was really worth it. The Lux making sure that Jinx knew that the Hwei was coming down was very important. Comms, always important in this game. Here we go. Some more fighting again. Wow, do you see that little scuttle there? That little green guy? Someone needs to get that if they want vision. Euphrates trying to get a little bit of an advantage there on that Quinn. Based on what I can see stats-wise, Lux is the only one with CS that's higher than their opponent. Ooh. Getting that root off of that Hui was really good for Lux as it prevented the Lux from dying. But seems like our bot lane is trying to engage on this Leona, but they don't do any damage, so they need to back off.
Maybe about 5 HP taken away.
That was not a lot. But as I said about that scuttle, it is going to go down. Hui is going to try to prevent something here. I think that was a Hui ult, if I'm not mistaken. And then Jin Zhao dying to Kaisa. Yep, this is about right. Vi coming in onto the Lulu, getting polymorphed, rooted, so much. And then a Vi ult. Oh, this Lulu is
Pushing
down.
So far in for this.
They are heavy engaging onto Southern Miss right now.
Now they might have the space opening for one of the the bot tower. Actually, no, they don't have the minions down there. I don't think. I can't.
They
really tell.
have, I think, a couple minions, but not a lot.
Yeah, and here in the top lane, you're not going to see a whole lot going down. Just tiny bits of damage for both sides. It's going to be a bit of a standoff here.
Yes.
Not quite high noon, but may hit the clock may strike it here soon.
Yes. Wow. So who has Southern Miss does have 3 grubs right now compared to Conestoga's 0. That's very important when it comes down to attacking the towers. Those little grubs hop off of your character and attack the tower, doing some damage. So that is a little advantage that Southern Miss has here. The grubs are about to spawn in 20 seconds, so Conestoga is probably going to try to get that. As you can see, Vi and our Jin Zhao is next to the grub pit. But it seems like they're also trying to get an engage on the top so no one can hit the grubs. But as you can see, the Leona, the Hui, and the Vi are all at the grub pit, so that's definitely what they're trying to do here.
Absolutely.
There's like 4 people there. Here we go with Quinn doing some damage here. I think Euphrates has to back off, but Quinn doesn't do that much damage right now, so that's good. Southern Miss bot lane is currently getting some plates off the tower. Very good for them. That's actually some good gold that they need. But, oh boy, is our bot lane down in a lot of CS. Kaisa 116 compared to our Jinx 79. And then it's not that big of a difference between like our top and our jungle. Mid is very even right now, and so is the support. But we're getting a TP here from our Hui. Oh my goodness, a lot of damage being taken here by Southern Miss. Leona coming in for some engage. Hui killing one, Vi killing the other. Leona also killing our Lux there.
That's 3 dead for Southern Miss.
And guess what? They did that so they could get drag.
Once again.
Once again.
I'd imagine grab it at this point, and you see the
Yes.
Rift Herald has now spawned.
The Rift Herald, yes. Conestoga did get the grubs. You can see up at the top here. So it's a 3-3 grubs take. So, hey, we're predicting almost everything here. That teleport was very good out of that. I think Hui has the teleport, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Hui does have the teleport. It was a good teleport out of Hui. It did, give Conestoga an advantage because they were up at grubs. How are they going to get there in time? That's the real question. Seems like we're having a little bit of fight here in the jungle. Lulu trying to prevent them from engaging, but Vi really wants this blue buff. Pulling it off out of the pit. Southern Miss trying to keep that blue buff. They need that. It gives them a little bit of an advantage. Vi ulting our Lux. And then we have a Leona engage. We're getting an ult here from... it's so colorful. I can't see what's happening.
The whole screen is just
Jin
filled,
Zhao dying to the Kaisa.
It'll ultimately be Conestoga coming out on top in that fight. They should be able to get this blue buff as well. So they are looking very, very good here in game number 1. Is 15-4 in the kills department, and you can see the gold is slowly but surely continuing to get out of hand. That is a nearly 8K difference in gold.
Yes, if you look down at the leaderboard at your bottom, you can see that almost every person has a bounty. Now, you might be curious, how does Quinn have a bounty? She doesn't have any assists, and she doesn't have any kills. I don't know. I can't explain it to you. I don't know how that is.
just happened.
It just happens. I think it has to do something maybe with the tower damage. That's what I'm going to assume there. Vi, of course, being 4-1 does give that bounty. So does that Hue and that Kaisa. Kaisa has a 500 gold bounty.
That is huge.
That's huge if Southern Miss
That's
could
a
pick that
massive
off.
bounty.
If I had to assume, yes, Conestoga is going to try to kill for this Rift Herald. They see the Jinzhao, they're going to stun, and this is going to be a easy kill.
And we've seen how aggressive Conestoga has been all game long, and they're just going to, of course, keep that on up. It's what's giving them so much presence on the map, and it's really helping them continue to extend their lead, which is already pretty up there.
Yeah, this lead is very... if you look at the items for Conestoga, and then if you look at the items of Southern Miss right now, almost every player has one fully built item, while everyone else on Conestoga has about 2 to 3. So they're at a very low disadvantage here, and just trying to do anything is going to be very hard for Southern Miss. But it is very possible for them to come back from this. It's not like I'm trying to make it sound negative here. They are at a disadvantage with gold, but hey, there's a reason why League of Legends has bounties. If you look up at the top, you can see that there's tower bounties, the Rift Herald has bounties, and so do dragons. That gives people gold. It's so needed that Southern Miss needs to try to get a bounty here. Or an objective, that's what it's called.
Yeah, an objective of any form.
An objective of any form. Killing the bounties on the players, getting a tower, something is needed.
Yeah, and if you even look at the mini map at the bottom right of your screen, you can see how far back Southern Miss is getting pushed, and they're starting to run out of time here though to make this comeback happen. This might help it though. It's a big shutdown right there. That is 300 gold bounty taken.
I'm so sorry. I think
So that's needed desperately for Southern Miss.
And especially giving that to Jinx, that's so needed. I'm hoping Euphrates can get a heal here off of this Quinn, but Quinn is doing too much damage and the burn is serious. Ouch.
Not gonna happen.
Ouch. The ignite from the Quinn is really what set that off, and then that couple hits at the end was just game changer.
33-second respawn time. It may have been 35 before I looked at it, but from what I saw, 33-second respawn time. You were going to be sitting at that screen for a decent little bit of time.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about this game. Downtime. You get a lot of downtime later parts in the game.
Eventually, you hit like the 60-second respawner.
Oh, that's like 45 minutes into the game.
Yes,
like,
yes.
oh my God, please.
Like, wow. I mean, I might as well just not spawn back in at that point.
Like, literally just kick.
It's like,
At that point, I have an AFK offense. Like, you need to like just get me out.
Let me leave, please.
Let me go. Seems
We're
like
not quite there yet.
yes, unfortunately. It seems like we're getting some switches out of Southern Miss. Euphrates, the top lane, is going to the mid lane to get some gold. I think our support is getting caught off guard here by the Quinn, dying instantly.
Look how close to spawn that was. Like, you didn't even take any steps out of spawn, and you've already been found and tracked down.
It's unfortunate.
And you're gonna see it continue to snowball here. Corm is dominating.
Yes.
See on the screen, Fusion gets another
wow.
kill. That's gonna be another tower down, and now the Nexus is starting to look like it's might be in danger here soon.
The Jin Zhao getting away with like 1% of health. It's crazy. Euphrates having to back off because Vi is there and Quinn does do a lot of damage against that Cassante. Yeah. Fortunately, Southern Miss is at a very high disadvantage because those kills really set down for another drag. And this here, I think, is the water dragon? I can't remember. I don't know. Is that right? I might be right. Ocean Drake. Yes.
By the way, you know how we mentioned earlier that there was a 550 gold bounty? It is now up to 650 gold.
Yeah.
Very large sum of cash right there, I guess.
It really keeps building up.
especially as you get kills, I'd imagine. And
Yes, as you
really
get
start becoming a
kills.
mad problem. And there you go. You see another kill there onto Ivy. Ivy is just getting what feels like almost spawn trapped here soon.
Ivy is unfortunately wandering and going places without someone. You are playing Lulu. This is my biggest piece of advice as a Lulu player. If you are going to roam around as Lulu, don't go somewhere where you don't know people are at. Right now on this map, you don't see a lot of vision. You see for Southern Miss, you see a lot of vision for the side of Conestoga. So if you don't have any vision, don't walk into the jungle as a Lulu support. You are going to die, and it's going to be very hard to get to get out of that unless you have flash and ult.
And with those kills, you can see the Baron taken quite easily there by Conestoga. 21 kills to 5, 44k gold to 32k. It is starting to get a bit out of hand here.
Yes, just a little bit. We can see that, wow, like this is a little bit rough for Southern Miss, but it's still like I'm trying not to be really negative against Southern Miss here, but it's 21-5. Let me clarify that.
It's a little tough.
I'm not trying to be negative, but let's look at the score here real quick. But it is possible we're getting a Lux ult and a shutdown from the Jinx on the Vi. The turret is destroyed, and wow, Southern Miss getting a really good team fight here, killing the Leona, having the whole team of Conestoga back off. They're going to do a little bit of damage here onto the Cassante, but he does have that healing, so he does make it out of there alive. They just need to back off. The quickest way for Quinn is to use that ultimate, but it seems Xin Zhao is pushing up a little bit too hard here, and Quinn is coming in for that first kill onto the Xin Zhao. They're pushing a little too hard. I think Southern Miss needs to back up.
Yeah, especially when you.
But maybe I'm wrong here.
Maybe not.
The Lux does get the kill on the Quinn, but Young Talent is very low, and Kaisa is looking out for blood. Kaisa has a 700 gold bounty.
That is great work, though, from Young Talent. Maybe great work from Young Talent, as it is the bait and switch.
Oh,
now.
here's another fight here.
Is there much that can be done? Young Talent still attempting to escape. And
Hey.
there it is.
But that's a really good way to go out. You're not giving the kill to anybody. You're giving the kill to the tower. So that's not a bad way to go out. I will not lie.
Realistically, too, I don't know if it was even possible to get out in that situation, like fully. So I mean, you might as well just give it to the turn at that point.
Yes.
As you'll see Euphrates fall. Now, again, Conestoga going to start making their way up the map, try to get towards that Nexus. They're starting to knock on the door.
Yeah. And I kind of had to agree. I have to agree with Haddle here. Whenever that Vi pick came up, that was definitely Southern Miss's downfall compared to how they play. Vi is such an engage, and right now she does a lot of damage based on how you build her. You can see there's that item, the first item. I don't know what it's called, but anytime Vi hits, it does a lot of health. It gives her a lot of health back. So just like she's a bruiser right now. She's bruising and she's doing a lot. We get a Lulu ult here onto the Xin Zhao. We're getting some damage taken here. What is that? The entire team of Conestoga was lined up. They walked in a straight line. I get the little pathway is a straight line, but that Lux ult just did a lot of damage.
I will say Southern Miss is doing a great job of fighting out of this. They aren't necessarily just I don't want to say just conceding, because like obviously a team is not just gonna concede, but like they're at least trying their best here to get out of their base. But of course that's much easier said than done when you're in a situation like that.
Yeah, it's a lot easier said than done. So you see how that red buff was just purple?
Yes.
So the Baron, when the Baron comes up, or the Baron Nasher, he affects all of the creatures on the map now. That's a new thing that they added, I think, beginning of this year with League of Legends. So the red buffs and the blue buffs, when they're purple like that, if like the jungler kills it, it gives the buff to the entire team instead of one person. So the buffs now are super important to grab, and since Vi is so into our jungle, it's preventing Southern Miss from getting those buffs, and it's really just giving that to Conestoga.
And I'd like
Here we are getting another dragon.
that might be a ban this next game.
Vi?
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Just a hunch.
Just a quick hunch. but it's probably very needed for that Vi to go or for Southern Miss to pick that Vi. We know that our jungler, Euphrates, who we thought was jungling in this game, does play Vi. So if Euphrates, let's say, switches, that Vi pick would be really nice out of us. But it seems like one team fight is left here. Southern Miss can win this and this game could keep going, or Conestoga can win this and that's game.
Yeah, and it's appearing that this fight should be happening here in a couple seconds, but we'll have to see who comes out on top. As you'll see Conestoga slowly
You can
taking
see
their time with this one. You can see the inhibitor is now down, so they can start going for that Nexus, if I'm remembering the mechanics of the game correctly. And now here comes Southern Miss. We'll see how they decide to defend this one.
it's going to be hard to defend this. They're waiting. Conestoga's waiting for the minions to come in so they can get down this tower, but it seems like the back line is just coming in and taking a lot of damage. The turret going down. We're getting a Lulu down. Jinx is down. Vi going down by our Lux, but Jinzhao and Kaisa. Oh, wow. Lux is really holding this off right now, but Lux can only do so much.
The second that fight started, I watched two players from Southern Miss basically lose almost all their health in about an instant. Like,
Yeah,
basically not a chance to get the health back.
it was kind of hard out of them.
You can see in the chat, they're
It's
typing their
GG.
GGs. They know what's gonna happen here. Conestoga gonna take game number 1. Of course, it is a best of 3, so there's still a little bit of time here for Southern Miss to get back into it, but they're gonna need to do it right here, right now, and it all starts in the bans when we get there for map number 2.
Hopefully we'll see that Vi ban. I'm praying for a Vi ban or a Vi pick here, because that was something else. Vi was really like the glue of the team, just like how all junglers are. Vi was that glue that was getting those engaged, providing a lot of kills for the bot and the top lane. It was rough for them, but I think they're gonna take a couple minutes, 5-minute break in between each game. So we're gonna go into an intermission and then we'll come back for the second game against Conestoga.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You can see the bands have officially started. Now you can see the sides have swapped, of course. That is as is tradition. You will now see.
We
Southern
can't
Miss
see
on 2,
anything.
and we still can't see the bands, which is unfortunate. Oh, there we go, Camille.
Of course. The common one.
I'm learning this game.
Yeah, Camille. Slowly but surely. Camille's really good. Top lane.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Camille banned in nearly every game that we've streamed of them. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
A lot of teams love to play Camille. I don't know if she's meta right now, but it's crazy. We're having a hard time. I'm so sorry for the people watching and seeing we're not being able to see the bands. That is like, I don't know. Huh?
They banned Seraphine.
Seraphine, of course. Common first ban out of another team. Oh, the Condors picking a pretty good one. The Condors, or any team, Ziggs. We have a person on the side telling us all of this stuff.
We have inside sources.
We have inside sources, yes. But
that are non-competitive.
it is very common. You will see this every time Southern Miss plays against someone. You will see a Seraphine ban. Zaya. That is a direct attack against Vincent. Seems like they're just doing direct attacks. The Seraphine going against our sport. What is this? Oh, look at that.
The top left. I'll show 'em.
Now it's up now. We can see it now. Nidalee. That's a ban against Euphrates. Interesting.
Looks like a Moo gonna be banned for.
Oh, wait.
Conestoga.
No, that's Southern Miss. A Mumu against Euphrates. Nidalee, I don't know why. Nidalee's okay in the jungle right now, right? She's okay in the jungle. Yes.
Yes.
She's not like the best that I have seen.
And we're gonna see the first pick in this game,
Vi and Nocturne.
and yep, Nocturne on the other side.
That Vi being a really good pick out of Southern Miss, preventing the Condors from getting it. But Nocturne is just as good as a jungle pick. Oriana being picked on the Condors as well. A good mid player, if I have to say. I wonder if the Condors are going to do another mid-top swap meta here.
So
I hate those metas.
Based on what we saw last game, what do you expect and what do you want to see Southern Miss do in order to fix their mistakes, right their wrongs from the loss that they took in game 1?
Playing more characters that they're comfortable with. That's what I'm really hoping, because last game they played characters that they were kind of sort of comfortable with, but now I hope to see that they're playing characters that they actually can play and go on and do. So like the Vi, that's really good. Syndra's another good one. Also, I think right now they're just choosing a lot of damage heavy. They do a lot of damage. Vi does a lot of damage, as we saw in that last game. Syndra does a lot of a power on that one. Renekton. That's a good top laner. Hey. Is he an alligator? Renekton's the alligator and he spins.
Spins.
Not like Garen spins, but he kind of like, he has this little sword on him and he just spins. It's kind of fun.
Well,
Gwyn again.
Is he a,
Why aren't we banning Gwyn?
I got a more important question. Is he a crocodile, or is he a crocodile that stands on 2 legs or 4?
2 legs.
If it was 4, that would have been the funniest character model I've ever heard of in my life. That would be hard to program and probably really annoying, but
Yes.
like, it'd be very fun.
I wish I could show you the new skin that came out for Cho'Gath. He's like a toy gator.
You showed me that one. Yeah.
Isn't that so cute? Interesting. We got a Jhin ban out of Condor, Southern Miss banning it now. Don't know what's wrong with this banning software. Everything's just off.
We haven't had issues this bad before. Everything just wants to be against us. They don't want us to stream. They don't want us to
Misfortune.
go home, I guess, or something. I don't know what this equipment wants from us.
MF is a bot laner. She does a lot of damage. She's the pirate. She's a pirate.
Okay.
She's like one of the base characters. You play her in the beginning, get her off the bat. We get an Ashe ban from Condors. That's very interesting. I don't think I've seen a Jhin or an Ashe come out of Southern Miss. The first 3 I've definitely seen.
So what do you expect the next 2 picks for? I guess both squads. If you can take your best swing at Conestoga, but
So the last two picks I'm assuming are going to be the bot and the support. USM is going to do something of comfort as we don't see the Kaisa just yet. I think Vincent might pick the Kaisa, but it depends on what the Condors pick here. Braum was being banned on the side of Southern Miss. He is a support player. Support can't champ. Ezreal. Yikes.
Wait, can we go back? Why did you say yikes?
He's okay, but he can do a lot of damage if fed. So if you don't feed the Ezreal, he's not going to do much. But if you feed the Ezreal, he's going to do a lot of damage. He has a combo where he throws his WQ, and that can do so much.
So we should expect. I don't remember which character it was last game, but I know there was someone that I don't even know if they died once.
The Kaisa?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's who's going to be playing.
That is definitely going to be playing the Ezreal. Just how we have a Kaisa here, as I assumed Vincent would pick. I'm assuming we're either going to get the Nautilus or the Leona out, but it seems we're getting a switch.
Really?
A switch. I feel like the Nautilus would be good here as it would stop the Ezreal from doing anything. Nautilus is just one of those engaged supports that's also a tank. I like how we're only getting one photo on either side.
Per team, and that's all.
That's it. Oh, we get the Rel. So we get a Rel here. I have seen Rel play. I've played Rel once, but she kind of switches back and forth between on a steed and then not on a steed. She's a tank engaged, similar to Rel, similar to Nautilus, but I don't think she has a hook. She doesn't have a hook, so it's going to be hard to engage on that one. Depending on what the Ezreal picks here, I'm going to assume it's going to be Senna? Senna?
I do see Senna.
That's an interesting combo against the Kaisa Rel, but let's see how the Senna builds. The Senna builds support here. It might be interesting, but there's some times that Senna will build damage. Yeah, they don't have a tank at all.
Oh.
Yeah. We have
So-
3 tanks.
We saw how fast they were playing last game. I'm assuming that's what their composition is here, but still no tank is.
It's a very interesting pick out of the Condors because 3 of them can do AP, which is ability power, and then the other 2, I think Nocturne is assassin. He does AD damage, and then Quinn does AP. 80 as well? That's what I'm still learning to this day. But these 2 do 80 while the other 3 do AP damage. That's going to be very important because Quinn and Nocturne can do a lot of damage to these tanks if they build that anti-tank. So that's going to be an interesting pick here. But 3 tanks versus none, I don't know. I can't really say, but it seems we did pretty well in the draft pool here. But it all depends on the game. But I think we did pretty okay in the draft pool.
Ultimately, it is what it comes down to, but I have heard a multitude of times, even in the pro leagues, sometimes the game simply just comes down to your picks and your bans. And I'll be honest, in every sport, every sport where it exists, that I feel is a very big part of it. While in League of Legends, it's still obviously a lot more important than other titles.
Yeah.
It is still hyper important you get what you need in the pick ban system, of course. And so what are your expectations here? I know you said it's kind of hard to gauge, especially based on what these compositions are, but what are your expectations from both sides coming into this one, especially after seeing what happened in game 1?
It's going to be kind of hard to see what's going to go on. As we saw the Condors play in the last game, the Vi was feeding the players very, very well, and that was giving the team a very good advantage. If Nocturne can do the exact same thing here, then it might just be kind of a clean sweep. Like I said with Ezreal, if you feed Ezreal, then that's just kind of you got a busted bot laner, and he can go anywhere and do a lot of damage. So it really just depends on this this jungler. If the jungler does their job, then it can go 50-50. For what I've seen last semester when Haddle was the jungler, he would feed Vincent a lot, and it would cause Vincent to be very, very attack heavy.
Yeah.
He could do a lot of damage, he had a lot of gold.
You can kind of still see it now. He's playing with that very similar style. I actually was in the team room with them a few days ago when they were playing, and I swear I heard him say like 5 or 10 separate times, "Oh, I'm out of mana. I'm out of mana." And I heard it so many times. I'm like, where is it going? It's
Yeah.
just gone. It's just never.
Was that in like the beginning of a game?
I think it was like near the middle.
Okay, yeah. You can lose mana if you just spam that stuff so
Yeah.
fast. There's items that give you mana, and if you're a character heavy on using mana, you need those items. That's very heavy set in the support realm. Like Senna is a very mana heavy champ, so she's gonna need to build a bunch of mana items. I think in the last game, Jinx was out of mana, and it caused like them to have to back off, and I was like, probably for the best. Probably for the best. But yeah, we got that 3-minute delay.
Well, while we are waiting for the rest of this delay, how about you guys go out onto Twitter or X and follow us at USM Esports on that platform, and over on the other social medias at Southern Miss Esports. You can see it right down here. I mean, you can't really see where my pencil is, but right down below us there at Southern Miss Esports on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. You can take a look on over on those platforms, and you can go follow us. Especially here on Twitch, if you're not following already, go down and hit that follow button, turn those notifications on. You can see every time we go live. And when we go live, of course, you're getting matches
but she
just like
doesn't do
this
them
one
live.
and more. Of course, also our rotating set of casters. We got all kinds of people coming in and out of this production. And of course, it's always a fun experience, even when you don't know the game, like what I'm dealing with right now.
Also, it's fall break. It's getting close to fall break. I hope you guys are having.
Thursday to Sunday. Right?
It's Thursday to Sunday, which basically means nothing, but do have a great fall break. Don't do anything stupid. Have fun. Catch up on your work if you need to. I know it's fall break, but take that
Definitely means
time.
something more to undergrads, and to me, my classes are like,
Yeah.
I have class Monday and I have class Wednesday, and like so like the fall break literally does not do anything.
It does a lot to me.
But yeah, I'd imagine the undergrads it makes a lot more sense, obviously.
I get to catch up on all of my midterms and all of my assignments. Here we are. Here we are in the game. Syndra's building true damage. I forgot that was back in the game. So League of Legends took, you see this little bullet here under Syndra? They took that out of the game for a really long time. Everyone was so upset about it. They brought it back, but they changed it a little bit, so it's not as busted as it used to be in the game. So it's back. It's back and it's happy. People are happy, but not
Since it was
stacked.
broken, I'm gonna assume that's why everyone loved it.
Yes, it was broken. You would see it a lot of time. Do you know Jin? He was one of the bands on the side of
Yeah.
Condors. Yeah, people would have true damage Din, and he would do so much damage, and it was actually so annoying to play against that. Oh my goodness, we're getting a little engaged. Ooh, Renekton taking a little bit of damage on the Quinn. Quinn having to back off, but Orianna coming up from the mid lane. Euphrates having to go under tower to prevent any more damage. He's gonna have to back already 1 minute into the game.
Sitting at half health that quickly too.
Nocturne and Vi.
Another.
A lot of engages. I think that's very common for the Condors. They're just trying to engage. You see that a lot happening with them. They go in, try to steal their buffs. Like I said last game.
They're trying to put a lot of early pressure on
Yes.
Southern Miss. That's what I'm noticing. And I'm assuming this is probably similar to how they play most of their games too. It's just put as much pressure onto your opponent as you can. And if you get the kill, even better. If you don't, well, you've done enough damage to force them to go very, very far away.
So what I can see right now is that in the bot lane, I didn't mention this, Senna and Ezreal are very, very squishy. I don't know if you know what that term means.
Yeah.
The people at home, squishy means they're able to get away. They have that like ability to not get hit by things and get away. So it's going to be a little bit hard playing against these two. But Southern Miss does have a Kaisa who's also very squishy, and the Rel can do a stun, so it can prevent those squishy characters from falling away. Seems like another beginning of the League of Legends game, not much happening. My favorite part of this game.
All of the action to actually happen, which is
Get it for the kick in. That is a Senna route there. I have that Senna skin. That is a Star Guardian. It's so pretty. So Senna, I should mention this for the people that don't play Senna. Senna has this, it's like a passive where a soul will pop out of like a minion or a character and Senna has to pick it up, and it's like a stack that she has to give. Out of those stacks, as Senna builds this up, it does, I think it gives her more damage. I'm not 100% sure. Yes, I just got approval, it does. Getting a Vi engage onto the mid lane, Orianna causing that from happening. We get a Vi flash and an Orianna flash. Very important. 3 minutes in. Wow. Pretty much, oh wow, we have an engage here in the bot lane. Senna trying to prevent them from coming up. Ivy getting off of the steed, having to back up, getting the minions for Young Talent. Very, very important. Rel going back in for the engage, getting rooted by the Senna, ignited. Kai'Sa has to back off. But Senna is going to engage with the E onto Rel. Ezreal trying to get this kill here, getting first blood. Kai'Sa probably not too far behind as we get a Nocturne coming in, but he gets away. Safe and sound. Young Talent safe.
That looked very, very similar to what we saw in game one, but the main difference being that it wasn't it was like a double or triple kill that started off the game in last time around, and that time you only see one, so that's gonna not stop the bleeding, but make it a bit easier.
It was definitely easier as Kai'Sa does have this one ability that does speed her up, so she can get out of that. That's what makes her really squishy. Jinx doesn't really have that. It's really in her passive, but she has to kill something or destroy something. So since Young Talent in the first game didn't kill anybody, it was very, very hard for him to get off of that. Syndra does. Syndra's one of my favorite mid laners. I don't play Syndra, but I love her skins. She has these like orbs that she throws. It does a lot of damage. It can push people off. You can see at her throwing all of that. It's a really cool mechanic that I feel like was very innovated when it got introduced into League of Legends. Here we have
Intuitive. It looked
Intuitive?
very intuitive.
Intuitive.
To me, at least. And
Ivy going down for the second time.
already 2 kills. I say already. It's been 5 minutes.
It's been 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. And it's only been Ivy.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate engages that Ivy has been putting out. And the fact that Nocturne is kind of just hugging this bot lane because he wants that dragon. He wants that first dragon. But here we go. Senna is going to get down by Young Talent. Now Nocturne has to come in so he can get this dragon here. Young Talent is the only one alive, but Nocturne getting killed by Young Talent. Now Young Talent has to do something, but he can't. He gets killed by the Ezreal. Ezreal is fed so far. Or getting fed.
A lot of trades there. I believe.
Yes.
It was what, 4 kills. Everything was traded. So.
Unfortunately, the worst fear is coming true. Ezreal is currently 4-0, 5 minutes into the game with a 300 gold bounty.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
the 2 kills on the Ivy in the first part of the game, and then the other 2 kills, one on our Kai'Sa, and then I think the other one was on our Vi, if I'm not mistaken. I think Vi went down to that lane and help out, try to get the dragon. Dragon is still up. Nocturne was not able to get it as he did die from Young Talent. So they're going to try to pull something off again to try to get that dragon. Here we go with an engage, trying to get them to back off. Anything is necessary here.
Chasing as best as they can, but of course just a little bit faster on the side of the Condors, so nothing too bad. No harm, no foul on either side. You are seeing again that gold slowly creep over towards the side of Conestoga, but again, it's only about 2k difference. My math isn't great, but I believe if my statistics in my freshman year of college taught me anything, that's it's about 2k gold difference.
Yes, it's not too bad right now. There's only a 2 what is it called? 2-point increase on the kill side. It's nothing to bat your eye at right now. The only real problem that I do have to say is becoming a problem is that Ezreal with the 4 kills. They need to shut that Ezreal down to prevent that from getting any worse than it already is. USM getting the first dragon, we did miss that as the camera did not point us there, but that was very good as whenever they backed that Senna and that Ezreal off, it allowed for them to get dragged there as Nocturne is up in the top lane getting those grubs. Southern Miss not super worried about that. They can just get the next set of grubs after this one goes down. Seems like we're just having a constant fight with the Quinn and the Renekton here up at the top lane. Renekton, once he is more built than he is now, he will do a lot more damage and a lot more engage onto this Quinn. But for right now, Quinn is just being Quinn, I have to say. She's a little annoying, and she's the type of character, she's a marksman. Marksmans are more worth their base attacks, their basic attacks, their autos. Those do more damage than any of their other abilities. So Quinn just doesn't need to be fed.
Yeah.
That's the big problem. But as you can see from CS wise, Quinn is 71 while our Renekton is 30. So that's not the best. That's not the best right now.
Especially at the start of the game. We're about 8.5 in, and already kind of extending that difference. And you just have to be aware of that, of course, if you are Southern Miss, and not saying that they aren't, because they know this game better than I do. So I'd like to imagine that they're very aware of these sorts of things.
They are very aware. Oriana getting the one of the plates down in the mid turret. Syndra can't really do anything and dies by the Oriana. That was very unfortunate. I think that was her ultimate, if I'm not mistaken. Ultimates are coming out here now, as it is very close in this game. Wow, we're having a fight here down in the bot lane. Ezreal is going to try to get a kill. Hafir Senna rooting Ivy. Can't do anything else without that. They have to back off because the Condors don't have any minions on in the bot lane. Quinn doing Quinn things, preventing Euphrates to get any minions. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and Euphrates, of course, that...
Here we go with an engage from the Vi ult. Senna doing a little bit of healing, but not enough. Senna is being ignited and can quickly fall away because she's just a little bit quicker. But we are getting a Nocturne ult here. He's coming in doing a lot of damage.
Pinch, too.
Oh my goodness, and he is gonna
All that
die.
damage being dealt, and somehow you're gonna see Conestoga come out of that without taking too terribly much. It was a simple 1-for-1 from what I'm seeing. So
Yes, it was a
nothing
one.
too crazy, but you can see two players from Southern Miss have to go all the way back to make sure that they recover all their HP.
Yes. They were able to get a plate off of that, so it was kind of on the more of the side of the Condors. So I will say that was a good play out of the Condors, the mid coming down to help out. Fortunately, Nocturne, that ultimate, it makes people on the opposite team blinded, so they can't even see their own teammates. And then he just jumps onto someone. I knew that was going to happen, especially with the Vi coming in. But it seems like Ezreal is going mid. I don't like these like swapping lane metas. It's so annoying to me.
Also, I am noticing, since the Ezreal did die, of course, that means Southern Miss grabbed that bounty. I think it was 350 gold at the time.
Yes.
So not anything major, but it is worth noting that that bounty has been claimed.
And Vincent was, I think, the one that got the bounty.
So, yeah.
So that was very good. Vincent and Ezreal are kind of even besides the CS, but Vincent is kind of coming back from that. So it's not looking like either one is like super fed or not. It seems very even down with those two characters, the bot laners. Here we are trying to get this Quinn here. We're getting another Vi ult. They're going to stun her, get her, kill her. Please just keep pushing that.
And looks like they're going to do just that, but look at the pinch again.
Oh, she's going to live out of that. No, she won't.
No, 1-for-1, but
Nocturne
it
is
probably will
going-
be a 1-for-2, and there you go.
Double kill.
And still, though, at least grabbing one, but not ideal to lose both players in that situation.
Yeah, it's not, like how you said, not ideal, but it did get that Quinn off. And it was probably for the best because the Renekton getting that kill did a lot. But he just Renekton needs a lot of gold. Look at the difference, 93 and 49. That is almost like a 50 gold difference. That is not that good. You need to be able to counter that or do something about that. And that means just feeding, going to different lanes, taking gold, but don't steal other people's gold, please.
We are seeing a dragon spawn on up. I'm not 100% sure where that's...
It seems like Vi is dealing with it. Vi is probably going to grab the the next drag for Southern Miss. Seems like the Condors don't even care about it just now. But I think they're trying. They see that someone might be there, so they are going down into the dragon pit, but Southern Miss does get the second dragon of this game. Oh, I don't like Quinn. I don't know why they're not banning Quinn. That's such I think that's one thing that they really need to be doing, but I guess the Renekton is countering that, but Quinn just does too much damage for that to keep letting through.
And as we both saw in our while we were taking some notes and stuff on this Conestoga team specifically.
Oh,
we
wait.
noticed they have a Quinn player that's pretty fairly often playing Quinn. So
We're getting a Vi ult here. We're getting a Nocturne ult as well. It's going to be killing our Syndra unless Vi can come in and stun him. This is going to be a good kill out of Southern Miss.
Stun, and now starting to get a little more even. At least in the
Yes.
kills department. Gold still down by 4K, but slowly making that back up. Of course, it won't come over in a couple seconds. It'll take a little bit of time, but
Here we
now you're
are.
seeing another engage here from Southern Miss. Young talent killing spree. May he find
Wait,
the
there it
second
is.
two, and will be one traded out, but that is 3 dead on the side of Conestoga and only 1 on the side of Southern Miss.
Yes. Southern Miss, Vincent now has a 200 gold bounty. He's at more of an advantage now. I will say, I think the Kaisa was a very good pick against this Ezreal. It's just, Ezreal's not... Kaisa's catching up to the gold. It's unfortunate with the top lane. I feel like that is just because they're letting a Quinn come through, but I think the Vi is going to kill the Quinn here. Yes, but is going to die in return. It's okay. It's an okay trade. It gives Renekton the time to get the gold that he needs, get the CS. But it seems like the Condors are trying to get the Rift Herald here. I love the Rift Herald. Isn't he cute? Don't you think he's cute?
I don't know if that's the term I'd use to describe the
But
demon that they're
why?
currently slaying.
I like him. He's cute.
But it looks like there shouldn't be an issue for Condors here. They will grab the Rift Herald in just a second, and there it is.
And then the jungler is going to pick that up. I feel like they're going to throw that down in the mid lane, I have to say. Maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully mid lane. Getting a couple... I forgot that the bot lane switched to the mid lane, and the mid lane went down bot. Very interesting. I don't understand the whole switching meta. I think that's just me being old school. Here we go, having a little bit of a poking battle here in the mid lane. The tower is very low on the side of Southern Miss, so this is very needed for them to get a good team kill out of that.
A point I want to mention here is that a lot of the games that I have seen from Southern Miss, even the ones they've won, they've lost game 1 several times from what I'm seeing, and then they go to game 3. It feels like they're just better at reacting to what they see after game 1. Not that losing game 1's good, but it feels like that they usually have a much stronger game 2 after they've really come to understand how the other team is playing, who they're playing, that sort of that sort of deal. And you're seeing it here too. They're starting to catch back up. They've taken the lead in the kills department, still down to 2K in gold. Regardless, they're at least keeping this one much, much closer than what we saw last game.
Yes, that is. I've also seen that too out of Southern Miss. I feel like the first game is just their learning curve to know how the other team plays. If you don't know, then that is really just what you need. Play the first game, see how they play, and then advance from that. Southern Miss at a very big disadvantage here in this team fight. That Senna ult doing wonders to save that team. It's just almost, how many people died from that? We had 2 deaths? 2 deaths?
Yeah. And you're also seeing the CS difference in that top lane is starting to get a bit out of hand at this point. It's
Oh my
almost
goodness.
40 difference. So worth noting.
Oh.
I see another turret go down, and now Euphrates getting chased down. Well, Euphrates survived that fight, and it cuts away, but it looks like it's fine for now. I mean, that fight specifically, not the rest of what's going on for Southern Miss, but there goes another turret.
I don't know. You definitely missed that since you don't know what that was. But that Herald took down 3 towers. or they took down the first tower, and then the Herald got one, and then another. But the Condors have 6 grubs. Did you see how many of those little guys were on the ground attacking that tower?
They were swarming.
Yes. So
Bunch of termites.
unfortunately, if you let an entire team get 6 grubs, they do a lot of damage and give you a really big buff. That's why it's always said to Ezreal ult killing the Vi. But getting at least one of those grubs really just prevents the team from having that many grubs on the ground.
Even if it's just one.
Just one. One does wonders. But unfortunately, Southern Miss couldn't get one. And so the other team has
And you
6.
can see in the meme map that mid lane is now open in terms of the turrets being gone.
Yes.
Towers being gone. But still a little bit of work to be done if you are Conestoga. Euphrates really weak here, but we'll stay alive for now. Seeing another.
It seems like Southern Miss is slowly losing that advantage that we thought that they had. The Condors gaining a dragon. They have 5 towers on against USM. USM has 0. So this is they need something here. Senna ult protecting the team, killing our Vi. Wow, they are playing so well together, the Condors.
Yeah, and now you're even seeing them get all the way to the base, and it's been 19 minutes, so they're looking to finish this one out quickly as it is a shutdown now.
That was a really good
one. That's young
surrender vote.
Someone who got the kill there. I could be wrong.
It seems like USM tried to surrender there. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I thought they. Yeah, I thought. Oh, yeah. One of 2.
I don't think they can surrender in an official match, but that was definitely a joke, and they definitely had to
probably an accident
say no to that.
even.
It was probably like one of those, a little goof.
It happens. I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
It's probably like instinct at this point for League players. If you know you're at a very
Yeah.
bad disadvantage, just clicking that button is just so much
I do the same
fun.
thing in Rocket League.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes, but the tower on the top lane against the Condors, is like very low. If they can get just at least one hit off of that tower, it would put them at a higher advantage.
They're spawn as well.
The Baron is spawning. Yeah, has spawned now. Nocturne coming in and killing the Syndra, but is probably going to die by our young
I
talent.
just saw the missile in. I was gonna call out that player had like no HP. And I
Yes.
just see a missile from across the map come in. Young talent falling there though. I
Yeah.
also falling. Somehow they've managed to stay alive and get a few kills to go with it. Condors shutting this down.
That missile that you saw was probably Ezreal.
Yeah. It was just like I saw only USM players on screen, then bam, dead.
All
Not a
gone.
chance.
Wow. Again, I'm not trying to talk crap on our team here. I hope it doesn't sound like I am. But it definitely seems like we are at a high disadvantage compared to the other team. I don't know what the other team is ranked compared to ours, but it definitely seems like there's a high difference. I don't know if it's the NACE league that just has like a multiple variety of ranks.
It does.
So that's probably why this is a little bit more difficult for Southern Miss, because I think a couple weeks back they played against some Masters. They got a game out of it.
They did.
They got a game out of it. I'm very impressed by that. But this is just seeming very, very unfortunate on the side of Southern Miss.
I do see a 200 gold bounty. I don't know why I saw the Gene wanted to say gram. As
Gram?
Like they're gonna get like 200 grams of sugar if they kill this player. That immediate kill. Goth not even a chance to get out of that fight.
They're doing too much damage to Condors.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it there. That health bar went from full to 0 in a matter of a second or two.
Yeah, it was almost instant that went down. And now that the Condors are trying to get Baron here, it's just going to be game.
Yeah, it's looking like it. You can see slowly finishing this one off. The Nexus is now open for business if you are the Condors.
They need to get those towers by that Nexus first.
Oh yeah, I missed that part.
Yes.
Completely missed that. I forgot they do not get those just yet.
Yes, you have to get the towers,
Yeah.
so you need minions. But once you get those towers down, then the Nexus is all
Then
for it.
it will be open. Right now they're still closed. It's like Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. They don't open. They're never around.
Just not yet.
But you can still see Condors are going to just continue to hold this position. There's no reason for them to back off just yet. Back off a little bit, but not like super far. They just need to wait for the minions to get forward. And now that is what's happening. As you can see, it may just be a full collapse in for the Condors.
They're all fighting in this top lane. If Southern
lobby is top lane.
Yes, the whole lobby is currently top lane. Ooh.
Everyone is a top laner finally. This is the real meta. This is the real meta.
This is
Everyone
the
in top
real
lane.
meta. Ouch. Oh my god, that does a lot of damage. Like Nocturne does so much. This is going to be a team fight. It's at a
There you go.
USM is at a disadvantage here.
Trying to fight Euphrates, trying to get in there with Young Talent as well.
The Nocturne is down.
But Ivy just taking every hit, gone. Young Talent about to be gone. Euphrates last one up for Southern Miss, and there it is. It will be the Condors now again pushing forward. I see some minions on both sides. Ace as well. If it wasn't enough of a statement made, Conestoga gonna shut it down, and that will be game. Yeah. 14 to 24 in the kills department there as well. Your reaction probably means a lot more than mine here.
They got crushed. They got crushed hard.
Tough one for definitely.
My biggest thing that I feared is Southern Miss's downfall is the lack of vision. If you looked on the map, you could see a lot of red wards. That was going to be the Condors wards, and you saw like 3 out of Southern Miss. And that was just their biggest downfall, because anytime they entered the jungle, they didn't have any vision, they didn't know what was going on, and then they would get collapsed on. So yeah, they got crushed there. I'm assuming the coach is going to be talking to them about that game and hopefully getting some advice, hopefully.
And that will be Southern Miss also falling to 0-4 in the NACE Varsity Premier East 1 or East 2 division. I forget which one of those it is. But they are on the outside looking in for playoffs. They still have a chance, of course.
If they win one game?
If they win, I believe it's top 6, and there's only like 8 teams per bracket.
Okay.
So there's definitely still a possibility for playoffs, and I could be wrong on that. I haven't checked it in a bit. So they still obviously have an opportunity to make playoffs, but they're going to have to make this a big turnaround. And now they will start facing some of the lower ranked teams in their bracket. They had pretty much the entirety of the top 4
Yeah.
the past few weeks. So now they're going to play a few different teams that are on that lower side that have also been, I don't want to say racking up losses. That sounds so bad, but also have been losing games to these teams. So we might see some more even ones now as we go forward. But we'll have to see what happens there. But that is going to be it for us tonight. That is going to be at USM Esports on Twitter or X, whichever you want to call it.
Good
And
job.
at Southern Miss Esports on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, here on Twitch and TikTok. Go down below, follow, hit the notification button, all those sorts of things. Get notifications for when we go live every single day, pretty much. We are almost streaming 7 days a week now, which is mental. That is like some actual
Insane.
mental like stuff. Not even, I was even doing that when I had like 9-10 teams I was covering. So
Will we be streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday
Fall break?
is a maybe. We're not sure on the Sunday, but it'll be, today is Tuesday, so tomorrow we will have Call of Duty. We will have, I forget who they play, but tomorrow we'll have Call of Duty. Then Thursday we'll have Madden. Friday will be Overwatch, and Saturday will be CRL Open number 2. So we got a lot of stuff to tune in for the rest of the week. That is going to be it, though. Thank you guys all for joining us. And one more thing to get through.
Southern Miss to the top. Good night.